Happy Monday. I hope you are having a fantastic week. If you didn't see it over the weekend, I recently interviewed one of the co-founders of Oculus, Jack McCulley. You got to check out that interview. Absolutely incredible. Shared some amazing stories, insights into what's happening in technology, AI, and everything else. Today on the podcast, we're going to be talking about a very interesting story out of Google. Essentially, Google right now is getting very close to releasing an AI software called Gemini. This is something that allegedly is going to be like a GPT-4 competitor. I know it took them long enough, right? And this is why I'm like, yeah, even since the very beginning, the early days, Google obviously has got a lot of cool stuff going on with AI. I think they have a lot of potential, but I still think that ChatGPT is ahead of them, evidenced by the fact that they're just kind of coming out with their GPT-4 competitor soon. And OpenAI is rumored to be getting ready to launch in the next number of months, maybe December, GPT-5. So then Google's gonna have to play catch up all over again. In any case, this is going to be really interesting. So today on the podcast, we're breaking it down where we got this information from and where we see this playing out in the future. Welcome to the AI Chat Podcast. I'm your host, Jaden Schaefer. Make sure that you go to aibox.ai, link in the show notes, to join the waitlist for our new AI platform. We're going to be launching an incredible platform that allows you to build anything you want with workflows in AI. So you're able to chain together ChatGPT and image generators and audio generators to make really powerful apps for your organization, or you can host them on our marketplace and actually generate royalties from them. So make sure to go to aibox.ai and join the waitlist. In addition, if you like the podcast, if you could do me a massive favor and please leave us a review on Apple or Spotify or wherever you listen to your podcast. This helps me be able to get better guests on here as they check the reviews to see how you guys are liking it. So if you could please do that, I would really, really appreciate it. Have you ever wanted to start your own podcast? I record and publish podcasts on a platform called Spotify for Podcasters, and I absolutely love it. Essentially, you can upload from your phone or computer, and it distributes to every platform that plays podcasts. They support video podcasts, and you can make money on the platform with ads or even podcast subscriptions, something that has made my life so much easier as a podcaster. So if you're interested, I highly recommend you give it a try. You can download the Spotify for Podcast app or go to spotify.com/podcasters to get started on your podcast today. So according to some sources very close to the matter, Google, which is of course Alphabet's flagship subsidiary, has granted a select group of companies early access to Gemini. So this is its conversational AI software, and this is reportedly coming as a competitor to GPT-4. So this is kind of setting the stage for a potential rivalry in the generative AI space. Obviously, there's already a rivalry with Google's Bard, although I'd have to look up the actual statistics on usage. I feel like I don't hear as much about Bard, so I'm not sure if it actually is, being used as much as GPT-4. And perhaps this is, this is what's going to change that. So the way we're finding out about this is because a bunch of different companies are getting early access and they're trying it out. And so, we're hearing that this is fairly powerful. I think the significance of Gemini's rollout really can't be overstated for Google. The tech giant has really ratcheted up its investment in generative AI technologies this year, and it's doing it apparently in a bid to kind of bridge the gap left by OpenAI's kind of jump into the market with the introduction of GPT-4 earlier this year. And I think that's a move that really kind of captivated the technology community. Obviously, we've seen Google was really kind of in panic mode. I can't remember what they called it. It was like a red, alert mode or something. All hands on kind of deal where Google was trying to stay relevant. They were worried that ChatGPT was going to replace them as a search engine, that they were going to kind of die in that regard. And so they came out with Bard, of course, and they really hustled to make that happen. Now, I think Gemini isn't just a standalone model. I think it's kind of like an ensemble of kind of large language models designed to serve a variety of functions. Now, this is the way I believe the AI future goes. It's not just one big ChatGPT or one big Bard or one big, Anthropic's Claude model. It's really like we're creating like a whole bunch of AI models that are experts at one thing really specific, and then if you can find a way to tie all of those together. So perhaps Bard is the interface or ChatGPT is the interface, but then it kind of outsources tasks to all of these different areas. I think this is essentially how we solve the problem of, people are like ChatGPT hallucinates, or it's not good at math, or it's not good at science, or XYZ, reasoning, whatever it is. Essentially using this approach, which ChatGPT and GPT-4 currently are already using. There's like when the model weights were leaked, we found out that GPT-4 has like 16 experts within it. So when you're querying it, it's relying on those. But I think it gets to the point where it's not 16 experts. We have 2,000 experts inside of GPT-4 that it becomes really powerful, really lethal. The combination of all of those things, you ask it a question and it's, pulling up charts and giving you analytics and stats and, all sorts of really powerful stuff. So I think we're going to get there. And I think that this is kind of the direction that Gemini is going to be, taking right now. And this kind of ranges from powering chatbots to offering features that can summarize text or even generate original text based on user inputs. I think this could include a broad spectrum of applications like drafting emails, creating music lyrics, or even writing news stories. So the utility of Gemini goes beyond text. It's also anticipated to assist software engineers in writing code, something, GPT-4 is already doing. And I think that's because they kind of worked with GitHub and Microsoft and kind of got that all integrated into it. But Gemini is also going to be creating original images in response to user queries. So it's essentially like if they were integrating DALL-E 2 into the model or Midjourney into the model, which is great, right? This is where I believe everything will go, and I think everything should go. So currently Google is getting, essentially allowing developers access to a fairly expansive version of Gemini, although it's not the most extensive version under development, which is expected to be more comparable to GPT-4 in scale and capability. And expected is I use that term loosely because we would hope that it's better, right? When you're behind the mark, you can't just be as good as GPT-4. If it's not better than GPT-4, no one's going to use it if it's the same thing. So we would hope, and so we're expecting it to be better than GPT-4, but that doesn't mean it's going to be a reality. Google probably won't disappoint. They know what's at stake, so I believe, one can only hope it will be better, but it's up to us to kind of see. And also if it's, who cares if it's better than GPT-4? Right now we know that OpenAI's probably has their eyes on GPT-5, and so we got to consider, is it better than the next version that is going to very quickly follow after? So I think as part of its broader AI strategy, Google intends to make Gemini commercially available on its Google Cloud Vertex AI service. And I think this follows last month's incorporation of generative AI into Google Search for users in India and Japan, a feature that, presents text or visual results in response to prompts. Additionally, Google has started offering its AI-based solutions to enterprise clients. So they have a monthly user fee at $30. While Google didn't, they're really, Google's trying to keep everything under wraps for this. But I do think that these moves, clearly indicate a focused push into the lucrative field of generative AI for them right now. This is a big area. And what's kind of interesting is beyond just being lucrative, I'd be interested to see the numbers, but beyond the net sales they've made from their AI solutions and tools they've come out with, by talking about all the ways that AI is getting integrated into the products, their stock price has really taken off. So I'm not sure which one they've made more money from, their stock going up because they're integrating AI into everything, or perhaps increased sales from AI. That'll be interesting to follow. But regardless, AI is a huge play for Google. This is really important. It's sink or swim for them right now. And I think, we're seeing what happens when you push a company. They know their survival is kind of on the line. It kind of matters at this moment, right? If they don't adopt, someone else will. And so I think we're seeing Google fight fairly hard, and so far I've been impressed, but we'll see, what happens with this new launch of Gemini.
This episode is brought to you by Shopify. That's the sound of switching your business to Shopify, the global commerce platform that supercharges your selling. Harness the best converting checkout and same intuitive features, trusted apps, and powerful analytics used by the world's leading brands. Stop leaving sales on the table. Discover why millions trust Shopify to build, grow, and run their business. Sign up today for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/tech23.
Thank you for listening to the AI Chat Podcast. If you enjoyed the podcast, I'd appreciate it if you rate me wherever you listen to podcasts. And if you're looking for an innovative group of AI enthusiasts, make sure you check out our Discord channel and also our Facebook community. It's obviously a lot more interactive than a podcast, where we can actually share software tools, prompts that we're using in everyday AI. I'll leave a link for those in the description below.